The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 263. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show. She is an entrepreneur in the health and wellness space, and I'm just honored to have her on and share her story with us. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lisa Chang. Lisa, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much and good morning. I'm, feeling really blessed. I live in South Florida. It's sunny and beautiful out here. And, sometimes I wake up, it's like, how the hell did I get here? And it was always like a golden dream of mine to live next to the beach and just be in paradise every day. So pretty much I was born in LA. My parents actually came here from Cambodia 30-something years ago after the huge war out there. So I feel pretty blessed to be born in America. I was the only child for 16 years until, my little sister came along. But majority of my life really was moving around a lot. My mom became a single parent, and she's very dear to my heart. I know she sacrificed a lot. I saw her throughout my whole childhood creating all sorts of businesses, from a donut shop to a jewelry store to running a gas station. Today she owns a successful restaurant up in Lowell, Massachusetts. So she's been my inspiration in terms of how I live my life today. Seeing her come from nothing and really creating her self-value, to me it's like, wow, thank you. But along the way, it wasn't always dandy. I mean, seeing her working all the time, I always felt, a little different compared to my friends and my family members. Always wondering, why do I feel like I don't have this perfect family that how I viewed the world everyone else had. And at one point, and this is the most emotional point of my life that, I had to reflect on, getting older. At one point, my dad came back into our lives, and, I was 12 at that time. I was really, really happy, yet in the mode of thinking things are working out, my dad actually got diagnosed with cancer. And, I come from an Asian family, and I can't speak for every other Asian families, but I don't feel growing up we've ever had emotional conversations of, hey, how are you feeling? What's going on? It was just kind of like you hold everything to yourself and you figure it out. And even at that time, I never engaged in conversations with my mom of how we were both feeling. And inside, I felt kind of angry and why is this happening? And within a year of us finding out, someone who I would love to build this deep relationship with, I had to be ready for his passing. And, I definitely wasn't ready. When my dad passed, it took a big toll on me emotionally. Just very closed off to the world and angry, moved around again. And, I feel that deep down inside, I always want this best life. At one point, I was just negative, rebellious toward my mom. And I feel like it wasn't until maybe mid-year high school that I realized I can either be negative and, unhappy, or really change my perspective and really live my best life. Junior year of college, being 20, I got introduced to an opportunity. And, I look back and I thank my younger self for just being open-minded that day to know that, I got presented with something I have no idea about. I just saw an opportunity to create time freedom and residual income for myself. And I was like, this makes sense to me. And the people that matters most, my family, I wouldn't want to be in that world where the typical dream of working 9 to 5, working 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life. The fact that someone dropped the seed in me to know that there is a different way, I was very open and I went for it. So after getting started with my first business, 3 months in, I made a really big decision for myself. I started to discover something more than just who I thought I was, and I had a bigger vision. I had a vision of I can live this incredible lifestyle, and I had to chase my dreams. So I had to put myself out in the world to get rejected. It was a really crazy experience, and I feel like I can have a long conversation about this. Point being, I made a big decision where I dropped out of school and I dropped into life and I followed my heart. And I think that was like a big like point for me where I had to get out of fear, like fear of what my family would think, and really follow like what I feel. And ever since then, I kept moving forward in life. I've lived in many places just discovering and following myself. And, my work today, I'm in the health and wellness space. What I'm feeling though is I'm really in the business of people, and I'm really in the interest of helping people live their best life, whatever that may be. And health and wellness is just a big part of it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Lisa. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote, and I just figure it might not be specific on confidence, but it relates to it. A few years ago, in the beginning of my career, I fell upon a video by Steve Jobs. It was his commencement speech at Stanford. And he talks about connecting the dots. You can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. And to me, it really resonated with me, and even still to this very day, and how I tie that into self-confidence. I feel that we might be in situations or things happen in our life and we might not feel good about ourselves. And it could be something so simple as like a breakup, and you're wondering, why did this happen? And I just feel things always happen for a reason. You may never understand it at that time, and maybe something so emotional as like a breakup, maybe you start questioning your self-value, your self-worth, instead of being down on yourself. Really, as time passed and things happen, you can reflect on yourself. You can learn something if your mind is open to learn from it, and it's never a less than of yourself. It's who were you in that situation, who you can discover about yourself and become a different person in your next situation. So I don't know if for you, if that ties into self-confidence, but for me, I feel like it does. To like, don't beat yourself in the moment. It all has an unfolding as you continue on in life.
Thanks for sharing that, Lisa, and I totally agree with you. Every situation that we have in life, whether it's good or bad, I always ask one question to myself: what good can come out of it? And when we can see situations in that light, in that perspective, it helps us grow as a person and realize, things had to happen for a reason. So I really love that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
Self-confidence, I guess, to keep it simple, self-love. And what I feel when I talk about self-confidence, there's like this inner energy in you. And when you feel it, like the way you are in the world is very different. You're more energetic. You're probably just more social. You're out there. You believe in yourself more. You can actually say, I love myself. I meet a lot of people, and sometimes it's difficult for someone to even say, I love myself. It might sound silly, but even waking up and giving yourself a hug and saying like, I love myself, that shows a lot in a person. To feel good when you look in the mirror, it's like you can actually look at yourself. Growing up, when I didn't feel like I had self-confidence, I never really liked taking pictures, or if I did, I had like this fake smile. I actually would not even smile with my teeth. Today, I love it, I feel like it's hard for me to take a picture and not smile. I cannot take a serious pose. It's just like, no, I need to smile right now. And I think for me, it's a great energy changer. And when you feel good about yourself, you love yourself, you're more likely to take on more risk and really put yourself out there. So I feel like there's this energy ball inside of you that you start to tap into.
I love that definition, and I totally agree with you when it comes to learning to love yourself and saying things like, you're awesome, or I love you, you look great today. That kind of energy does attract more people, and the right kind of people, because you're so confident about yourself regardless of what happens, that you it kind of flows over to other people. So love the definition that you mentioned. And what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Going to college, I just kind of felt like I was this person that wanted to interact with people, and kind of felt insecure that I couldn't add value. If we were in a circle of friends, I would never feel like I would be like the main person adding to the conversation. I'm more like in the back, just listening and feeling like I'm just absorbing it all versus contributing. Sometimes I do feel that way. It's all in like the groups I'm in, obviously, but really now I feel that I'm not in the shadows. I would probably never talk to a stranger. Growing up, you get taught, don't talk to strangers, stick to your friends, people you know. And what I've come to realize is that that's a lie. I can meet strangers and I have the most amazing connections, and like I have so many stories, and that is what adds value to my life. And being okay to share yourself. I feel like within the past year, my learning lesson has been really to be okay to be vulnerable, to talk about things that you're probably afraid to talk about. And you come to realize that if you can share your vulnerability, certain people in your life might feel the same thing. They are afraid to talk about it, but when you share it, you come off really brave that you did. So last week, I got a message from a friend, and we're also Facebook friends. He sees a lot of my posts. Last week, I was in California, and it was my first time visiting my dad's grave with my mom after he passed, which has been 19 years. We have never been in California together at the same time. And, I feel I'm positive, and I just didn't imagine what it would feel like to be there revisiting that place with my mom after 19 years. And when it actually happened, and in that moment, all emotions came up. I got super emotional, like tears were coming. I'm like trying to hide it from my mom. And I was like, you know what? I definitely feel like I have a message and I want to share it to whoever is even interested in reading. And when I did, I posted a photo of my mom and I just wrote my thoughts. My feedback was just really surprising. Everyone was like, wow, thank you for sharing, great piece. And when I feel like I authentically feel something and express without fear of judgment, people can be like, thank you. They needed to hear that too. And for me, it's like now I'm finding my voice. So coming from a place where I felt like I didn't have voice or value, I'm realizing that I have a way where what I feel, if I share it, I can uplift or just help someone else open up their life and share themselves. And that's the best thing you can do, to share, to shed, to feel light. I think that's a gift.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something what's missing in the world, just being more authentic and being more vulnerable, because growing up as an Asian woman, it's like we're told never to share our feelings, kind of like hide them and show people, to be strong is you just don't have any feelings. And that's not okay, because we have all these feelings bottled up, and then we have all these these thoughts in our head which feel like, why can't we do this? Oh, am I not strong for not sharing my life, or not sharing how I feel today? And I think the more vulnerable we can be and learn to relate with other people, the more we can connect with people. I mean, you sharing your life and sharing your stories probably helped you to be more confident. And because of that, what's your life been like now?
I thought about that today waking up. I was like, I'm still in the process of it, and I just feel more light. I can breathe better. I think for many years, I felt like I could breathe, but I didn't have good breath. Like, I wasn't satisfied with my breath. It's hard to explain. It's just kind of like emotionally when I'm blocked, it's like I don't have good breathing. So as I keep sharing myself, whatever I'm going through, whether, again, like, feeling sad about my dad or relationship issues, as I feel comfortable to talk about it, like I'm just more free and I'm okay. I don't have to live in my mind. And what I realize is like when I live in my mind, I'm just negative, and like it stops me from doing things. So like I really feel like finding my voice and being able to communicate. Communication is like a really big part in the quality of the life you live, and I'm still working on it.
Thanks for sharing that, Lisa. And to our listeners who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey of self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
It's always going to be a process. Different things are going to happen in your life, and you may not be 100% confident in yourself 24/7, and just be okay with it. Yeah, I would say don't beat yourself so much, and look at what can you learn from it? It's always what can you learn from it, and finding that outlet for yourself. I live in Florida, and one of my biggest interests in life was to live like on the beach, and my outlet is whenever I'm down or like I don't feel good, like I really go to the ocean, and I can be there by myself 11 o'clock at night, doesn't matter what time, and that's my communication with the higher world out there. I call it God. I don't have a religion. I just know that there is someone bigger out there that created all this, and that's my communication. So really find that inner journey and yourself, your spiritual journey, and find that outlet where you can release energy so that you can get yourself together again and know that, again, things are happening for a reason. It's for you to pay attention, and it's a reflection of who you are and who do you really want to be.
Thanks for sharing those tips. And, I truly believe too, whatever happens in our lives, they always happen for a reason. And I always believe something good can come out of it. So thanks again. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Absolutely. My personal website is Work with Lisa Chang. If you're on Facebook, I'm more of a Facebook person than on any other social platform. If you type in Lisa Chang, I know there are hundreds of Lisa Chang out there. So if you type in my email, it's Lisa Chang, LISACHANG, biz, BIZ @gmail.com. You'll find me on Facebook and you can email me as well.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Lisa, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Lisa's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Lisa for taking the time to share her story and journey with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Yes, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
No, it was our honor. It was my honor to have you on the show, so I'm really grateful. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free audiobook by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.